Hello everyone, it's Gigabeef here, and today we're looking at the first update to Arena with some changes and some balance as well. So the first one is that the volume of the announcer has been reduced, which has been asked for by many people. Unfortunately, we don't have a volume control for it, but the sound has been made quieter, which is a good thing. Secondly, all Golden Star in all of the presets has been replaced with Vaseline instead. I don't think this makes that much difference because Vaseline also has quite a long active time, but there you go. Outside of this, all of the remaining changes are to presets and some of the balancing within them. The first one is the Agent preset that we saw used a lot at the tournament, and this one used to have an Eagle Allied MBSS plate carrier, which is class 3, and this has been replaced with a standard rig. So now this preset has no armor at all. I think this is a little bit too much, but we'll see. Counter, which is one of the relatively nice AUG presets with low recoil, now instead of having a trooper, it has a hex attack, so that's been upgraded from class 4 to class 5, which is interesting because I thought that preset was quite good anyway. Surf is another kit that we saw used a lot at the tournament because it's a VSS with SP sticks, and this has gone from 3 magazines down to 2. We saw lots of people using this to wall bang the terrain, and so now you have to be a bit more careful with your ammunition. They also took the tactical flashlight away from its secondary, which is the PL-15 pistol. Zenith is the first preset that you can get access to the Alton helmet, and this one has an AK-105 and an MP-443 pistol. These both had tactical flashlights, and those have been removed, and the AK-105's version has been replaced with a tactical device instead. Stiletto has been changed as well, and this is probably one of the best classes for public games because this has a Mossberg with AP-20 slugs and a class 4 armor, so it's difficult for people to hit you, and you one-shot a lot of people to the chest because they're not wearing class 4. This one hasn't got changed all that much, which I think is interesting because this one is probably one of the ones that is borderline overpowered given how far you get it down the queue. It's only 3 down as opposed to some other kits, but what they did was they took the AP-20 that you had, which was 20 rounds before, and now you only have 10. This means you have to be a bit more careful with your ammunition, but they gave you 1 extra mag for the Glock 17 instead, so you have to switch to sidearm a little bit more often. However, there is another buff that it got. Rather than just having the Cobra on the weapon, which is what it starts with, you now have a Tri-Hawk 3 times in your rig as well, so you can swap that on if you're fighting on a longer range map. Lance is a very high tier 7.62 MDR preset, and this one used to have M62 in it, and they've downgraded that to M80. Also, the TacTech, they've changed the durability from 50, which is max durability, down to 40, so it's not quite as protected as it was before. Very few people will have got to this one yet, so it probably doesn't really matter right now. Another one that has taken a nerf is the Blackjack preset. This is the 100 round M4 preset, which is quite an interesting one, especially for wall banging through areas of the map, and what they've done is they've taken the ammunition and changed it from SOST to RRLP. I don't think this makes that much difference. We've gone from 69 damage and 20 pen to 63 damage and 18 pen, but really the benefit of this preset is having the 100 round mags in the first place, so without that changing, it's probably about the same as it was before. Tactical is the MP5SD preset, which has green tracer, but you get 50 round drum magazines, and obviously the weapon itself is extremely low recoil. You get a slightly damaged MMAC and an ACH-HC helmet, so it's quite a decent preset given that you get a helmet. But originally this one didn't have an optic on the gun, and what they've done is they've changed this to having a UTG on top, so this makes this one a little bit easier to use. And finally, the last preset that got changed was Brigadier. This one's quite a high-ranking kit, but it was used a lot in the pre-testing because of how powerful it is for its level. This one has an HK416, and it used to have M995 in the magazines. This one has been reduced down to M855A1, but increased the mag size to 40 rounders. Then it has some spare 20s as well, which used to be SSAP, but now this is M995. Funnily enough, I could actually argue that that's probably a buff, to be honest with you, because SSAP is such low damage, and M995 basically pens everything anyway. So that's it. I don't know why this one didn't go on Twitter or on the official forum. I've only seen these updates on Discord and apparently also on Facebook, so if you're listening from BSG, I'd quite like these to go out on all the platforms because it does make it easy to track what is going on. But I do imagine that we will be seeing various updates to Arena on quite a regular basis with various bugs, issues, and some balancing as well. So as always, a big shout out to all my patrons, and have fun in your raids.